Hello, my name is Rachel, and today I'm going to be doing my April TBR, aka my OWLS exam. So, aka my OWLS TBR, but we'll get to that in a minute. So first of all, I want to quickly revisit my books from last month. I had 5 books on my TBR last month, so let's go through them very quickly. So first up was In Her Skin. Check, read it, wasn't crazy about it. Next up was Obsidio for the second month in a row, and I did not finish it for the second month in a row. In my defense, I did start it, and other things got in the way, so I put it down so I could give it the attention that it deserves, maybe in the summer. So we're not even going to add it to the TBR this month. We're just going to let her rest and come back to her. Next up is Eliza and Her Monsters, which was our book club pick for April. So I have to have it read by April 5th. Today is April 1st, and I am almost done with it. I think I have maybe 100 pages left, and so far it's pretty good. So I'm going to count that one as check because I'm most of the way through it. Next up is Internment. Check, read it, loved it. And last up was Everything's Trash, but that's okay. Check, loved it. You're going to see that later in this video. So now let's get into my OWLS TBR. Today is the start of the OWLS readathon. It's the first day of April. So today we start taking our exams at Hogwarts for our ordinary wizarding levels. So if you have not participated in the OWLS before, I'm going to leave a link down below to G's channel. It's Book Roast, and she has done a fantastic job with it this year, even more so than last year, and last year was amazing. So I'm going to leave the announcement down below, but basically the summation is you get to pick a wizarding career, then you get to take OWLS to match those, then you're going to get to take Newts later this year, and it's just so much fun. So there are 12 basic classes you can take, and I chose to be a wizarding librarian because I'm already a muggle librarian. I want to be the librarian at Hogwarts so bad. That is my ultimate career goal. So why not go ahead and start taking my OWLS so I'm ready to go when they are ready for me at Hogwarts. So I have 5 exams that are required of me in order to stay on my career path. And those are going to be the first 5 I tell you. The rest of them are just going to be bonus tasks that I went ahead and picked a book for in the hopes of maybe getting to all 12, but I just don't see it happening. So I really don't anticipate getting to all 12 of these, but I did pick one for every category. So let's jump into my required courses first. So first up of my required classes is Ancient Runes, and for this we had to read a retelling. I picked an e-galley I got of a Pride and Prejudice retelling, and it just wasn't working for me, so I'm already going to switch it. On the first day of the readathon, I'm already switching it up. But I decided to go with the Cinderella retelling, and that is Cinder by Marissa Meyer. Now, I have to say I didn't really have a lot of interest in reading this book, but it was just recently picked for one of our 3 summer book club picks with my students, so I'm going to have to read it anyway, so might as well jump in now. Since it works for this challenge, I'm going to count it. So, Cinder by Marissa Meyer for my Ancient Runes challenge and for my future book club. Next up is Arithmancy, and for this we have to read a book by 2 or more authors. So I, again, picked a book that's going to be on my summer book club picks list, and I actually was lucky enough to get an e-galley of this one, which I'm super excited for because it doesn't come out until May, and that is Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the pair that brought us the Illuminate Files, and this is their first book in their new series, and I'm super excited. Like I said, not only is it going to be a book club pick, but I think it'll be fantastic, and I love the cover, so I'm super excited. So Aurora Rising is going to be my Arithmancy pick. Next up is Defense Against the Dark Arts, and for this we had to do the Reducto spell, and for this we basically needed to pick a book that starts with R. So I picked a book that I have been dying to read forever, and I don't know how I haven't picked it up yet, and that is Refugee by Alan Gratz. I was actually lucky enough to meet Alan this past year at a library conference, and he signed my book, and I have just been wanting to read this for so long, and since it starts with an R, it's going on the TBR. Ooh, that rhymed. I like it. So, Refugee for Defense Against the Dark Arts. Next up is History of Magic, and for this we had to read a book that was 10 years old or older, basically, published at least 10 years ago. So for this, I picked one that is going to be so awesome because not only have I been wanting to read it, but you guessed it, it's going to be a book club. My friend book club, my adult girls book club, is reading true crime this month. We just do genres, so this month is true crime. This is a true crime book. It also counts for my Book Riot Read Harder Challenge for a book written by a journalist, and that is In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. And I believe this was published in the 60s, so that will be plenty old enough. Yes, 1965. So this is definitely going to fit the 10 years or older, and that's going to be my history of magic in cold blood. Next up, and the last one that's going to be required for my librarian path, and that is Transfiguration. For this, we had to read a book with a red cover or sprayed edges, and for this I went with the next book club pick for my high school, so it's the last one of the school year. Surprise, surprise, a book club pick, and that is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This definitely has the sprayed edges. It's got nice black little pages here, so this will definitely work for Transfiguration, and yeah, that's basically all I have to say about this one. It's going to be my Transfiguration, black edges, book club pick. I am crushing my book club picks this month. I'm excited. Next up are going to be just the rest of the categories, the books I picked for them. And like I said, I may or may not get to these, but at least I have a book picked out in case I get finished early and just keep plowing through these. So all of these are basically arranged in order that I think I would probably read them. So first up is Charms. The reason I put this one first is because not only did I really, really want to read this book, but I did the Charms extra credit last year, so I actually got to start this early, and I've already finished this book. So the first book that I've completed for the Owls is Everything's Trash, But It's Okay by Phoebe Robinson. And I mentioned this in my wrap up. It is fantastic. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and this was my Charms. So I am already through with my Charms exam. By the way, I don't think I mentioned, but Charms was to read an adult book, so check. Next up is Potions, and this is to read a sequel. So I, again, was lucky enough to get an e-galley of one of my most anticipated releases of the year, and that is Finale, the third and final installment to Caraval by Stephanie Garber. So you know that's going to be my pick for a sequel. I am so excited to read this one. I kind of have a feeling that one's going to be top priority because I'm just so excited, but it's like a chunker. It's like 500 pages, so I'm super, super excited. So Finale for my sequel for my Potions exam. Next up is Muggle Studies. I think that would just be such a fun class to take if you were a wizard, but for this we had to read a contemporary book, and for this it's not a book club book, but it is going to be a book that I can check off of my Read Harder challenge, and that is to read a book by or about a neurodiverse character, and I believe in this case it's both. It's by and about a neurodiverse character, and that is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. And I've heard such good things about this. I'm hoping it's really, really fantastic. And again, since this is a contemporary and it's going to work for my Read Harder challenge, I'm using this for my Muggle Studies exam. And the last 4 books. First up is Divination, and that is a book set in the future. And for this, I'm picking one I've been dying to pick up, and that is Scythe by Neil Shusterman. I don't know how far in the future this is set, but I know it's a future world where disease has all been cured and these scythes come and kill people. This was one of the Buckeye Book Award picks last year. So basically the awards for students to vote for Best Book of the Year. In the middle school range, though, I would have expected it to be in the high school. But a lot of the kids loved it. I haven't read it yet. I really want to. So I'm going to use this for my Divination book. Next up is Herbology. And for this, we had to pick a book with plants on the cover. So for that, I went with Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. It's really hard to see, but there are plants all over on the cover. So this will definitely work for my Herbology exam. Next up is Care of Magical Creatures, and for this we had to pick a book with a land animal on the cover, and for this I went with Unclaimed Baggage by Jen Dahl, and this sounds like the cutest book ever, and as you can see there's a squirrel on the cover. It's not alive, but it never said it had to be a live land animal. This sounds like the cutest book ever. This is a contemporary YA novel about a group that works in unclaimed baggage at the airport and just the shenanigans that happen. So I'm excited for that. I think this could possibly be a book club pick in the future. So, you know, we had to bring that in somehow since it was a book club pick. And last but not least is Astronomy. And for this, it's a book with the word star in the cover. And for that, I picked The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. Maureen Johnson's name has been really big on BookTube lately, I feel like. She wrote Truly Devious, and that came out more recently. But this is like a thriller series. I think I don't know if it takes place in the past or if it's just I don't know, they reference Jack the Ripper-esque killing, so I don't know if it's set during the time of Jack the Ripper. I feel like that's probably not true. But maybe somebody's murdering people in London like Jack the Ripper. I don't really know. But Jack the Ripper and Rory DeVoe, London, Louisiana, all words that I'm very interested in. So this is going to be my pick for astronomy. So there you have it, my entire owls set up. I do not, again, think I'm going to get to all 12, but wouldn't it be awesome if I did? So check back next month with me and see how I did in my April wrap up and see what I did. See how it went. See how successful I was. So thanks for watching. If you're participating in the owls and you have a TBR, I'd love to see it down below. Go ahead and link it, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in another video. Bye for now.